And welcome back, everyone. I apologise that this episode might be a bit quieter than previous ones. I feel a sore throat coming. I can talk fine, but I can sense a slight change in my voice, and when I open my mouth, like, wide open, it's like the sides of my throat start to hurt, and so yeah, I'm probably coming down with something. Anyways, ooh, that is way too loud. Okay, just turn that down on my end. Heard these guys from downstairs. They made their way in over the night. I ended up taking some sleeping pills, actually. Did some exercise, or did some exercising rather, and yeah, I mean that's about it, I think. Read the reloading manual, and then I just took some sleeping pills and turned in for the night. It was way too late. It was like 1 AM, I think, by the time I was done with everything. Maybe like 12:30. Yeah, it was just... not ideal. Anyways, we are up bright and relatively early. We would prefer to wake up at around like 6, 7 AM, but oh, what can I say? Those sleeping pills work a little bit too well sometimes, and right now it appears not much has changed, so we can just be on our merry way. Of course, that is still going to be a massive problem, along with the occasional thing that comes out of the woodwork like that. There's one down there as well. Yeah, that's a lot of them. Kind of have to fight them, I think. I mean, sure, the gun is the other option, but... well, let's be honest, it's not a great option. So, tell you what, I think we're going to spend a good portion of the day leveling up our spear attacks. Which is one way of looking at this, I suppose. Well, alright, we've leveled up our spear attacks, now we can go and... It's only level 4. Yeah, it's gonna take a few more stabs until I get it to any reasonable level, but, you know. I'm also feeling mighty peckish. And I'm not quite sure where I can get some food. It's gonna start being a problem. Not so much because there's no food around. There's like canned food here and there. It's a pretty big town. I'm assuming there's something left, like chips and stuff. Alcohol, like I said, technically works. Although not very well, but technically, right? The only problem is, not so much like the lack of food, like I said, it's more so getting to the food. Which, in some ironic twist, is I think kind of a similar problem that the undead are having. Well, except that they don't really need us as food, it's more of an instinct, as we all know. They don't have an actual digestion system. If they did actually required food to survive, they'd all be dead by now. I mean, how do you think the skeleton ones eat, eh? Trust me, not much digestion happening there. Yeah, I'm definitely coming down with some sort of flu or something. It could even be the Nox virus, you never know. I do have a instinct to throw away all my backpacks and hammers immediately, so... yeah, just chuck them into the river. Apparently it's one of the symptoms, one of the earliest symptoms is you have an uncontrollable desire to throw hammers and backpacks into rivers. Because, let's be honest, it's the only plausible explanation for why there's a complete lack of both in Knox County. Because I have one bag and one backpack in this very room, which is not a room I use for storage of anything. And then I have like probably 2 or 3 backpacks upstairs, and I have those like travel, what do you call them? Suitcases. Yeah, like the really, really big ones. I have 4 of those upstairs as well. Okay, mind you, I also have like a ton of ammunition and rifles and stuff, so I'm suffice to say, I'm relatively well equipped for survival. But not what I mean. Like, what I mean is the average person has more than one backpack. Matter of fact, if we were to take a poll, I reckon that there would be more backpacks than people on average in a house. Maybe I'm being a bit generous, but at the very least it would be an equal amount, right? Because everyone at some point needs a backpack. And, well, apparently the game doesn't think so. As for hammers, don't even get me started. I have... the smaller ones, granted, are not that uncommon in the game, so fair enough. A bigger sledgehammer, I have one in the house, so... I mean, I don't know, it's let's just say, as soon as I get infected, it's not long for this world, and it wouldn't be exactly difficult to round them up and toss them in the bin. Or not even in the bin, well, toss them in the bin and then right-click delete, right, that's what you do. Or just chuck them in the river. Oddly enough, there is a river that runs through my town as well, so really, I'm setting myself up for the perfect role-playing experience, if anything. But back to more immediate issues, and this spear's almost broken. Which I honestly didn't expect. Because I thought it being an improvised spear, it comes from basically just sharpening a shovel. And I thought, well, if that's the case, then it'll have a little bit more durability than the regular spear. Apparently not really. So, yeah. Spears not long for this world, apparently. Regardless of their origin. Although, I gotta say I'm really liking it. Despite the durability problems inherent with this weapon. Or I'm not with, inherent to this weapon, right? Yay! There you go, that's what I was looking for. Nice proper stab. Oh. I realise I could have repaired it, probably. I do have some wood glue and stuff, but... honestly, I don't really think it's worth it. Like, the tools to repair it seem a bit more rare than finding additional garden forks and spears and stuff. Plus, I can craft my own spears from tree branches and even add knives to them if I want, so it doesn't really seem worth repairing. Katanas and kukuris and stuff like that, on the other hand, have a lot more durability, and as a result, I would say they're a lot more worthwhile in terms of repairs. Okay, this is huge. The warehouse here is not looted. It's full of stuff. And really, it's full of all kinds of stuff. So I gotta mark this on the map. Do I have a blue? Yeah, I do. How do I mark this? Like money? Yeah, like money, I guess. Unless I find something better. No. I was a bit scared of getting attacked by something. Yeah, I don't know how to mark this, because it's everything. Like, can this symbolize loot? Not really. Yeah, it's just everything, really, and wood axe as well, shovel, wrench, metal, materials, if that makes any sense. Literally anything you could ever want. Okay, I don't actually want you breaking down the window. Like I said, I don't want you breaking down the window, thank you. Is that a round point shovel? Yeah, I can change that into an improvised spear. As you can see, I just need a hand file, which I'm pretty sure I had one at some point, or I found it somewhere, or I don't know, something along those lines. Might have gotten lost in the meantime, but it surprised me to find one here also, so there you go. Very nice. Not exactly livable. Not really a place I'd like to move into immediately. Not that kind of building, but yeah, everything else just fine in my books. This looks interesting. It has a window. I want to go in through the window, I think. Also, I'll make sure I'm not Yep, that works. And this one also, I'm assuming, is going to be in... Okay, significantly less useful, this. But again, like Kakuri, Wood Axe, how much more do you need, right? Yeah. Thing is, I don't know, I'm not really looking for anything specific in terms of loot anymore. Certainly not until I've settled down, and then I'll start looking into building materials, gardening materials, stuff like that, and then I can sort of comb through this and see what I need, but there's a ton of stuff here, and you gotta remember you can also move the boxes to get to the ones in the back, so you can move these to get to ones in the back, and there's gonna be extra stuff there, and I mean, yeah, this is just really good. This is going to be my supermarket if I move into the neighborhood, which, by all accounts, I will. Just a matter of time, although... Do you mind? I'm trying to shave my beard. Just give me a second. I'm trying to pull the axe out. Thank you. Really? A second one? Really? Okay. That's fine. That's no big problem. Okay, problem dealt with. Problem dealt with. There you go, man. 2 ferals and... what was supposed to be a nice, relaxing outdoor shave turns into... run for your life, oh god. Look at how many of them are coming from the woods. That's really scary. It just goes to show you how many are just wandering the forests that you can't see. Actually, one of the things I'd love to do, get to the local police station, grab all the ammo, obviously not now, but like way later down the line, once I have a permanent base and I've walled it off and everything. Get to the police station, grab all the ammo, get to the center of town and just start shooting unsuppressed. Draw as many of them as possible and just kill them. Because... oh, I forgot that's the... engine compartment, man. That's locked. Lovely. Yay. Okay. Now, where was I? Trim that beard. A little bit. And then... remove them from the belt. Attach this to the belt. No. backpack, and then this goes here. Okay, lovely, and then equip garden fork. Inventory management, bit of a nightmare. Alright, and then attach this to the back, because it will reduce my overall weight when running around. Lovely. Christ almighty. Okay. Okay. I need to get to these houses. Because there's food there. And this one has a partial fence as well, which, if I remember correctly, was one of my requirements, right? Of course, each and every one of those requirements is ever so slowly, with each passing minute, turning into a... you know... So being a requirement, it's sort of turning into, oh, you know, it would be pretty nice if. But doesn't really matter. Unfortunately, but that's the case. I need to get to one of these houses, or at least a couple of them, ideally. Because I need some food. And I don't need food just immediately for myself. Like I said, I'm getting pretty hungry. I need food for my imaginary friend, which is future Colonel Kurtz. Which is to say, I'd like to have some food now, and have at least a can or two to carry. Did you have to scream? Okay, I'm not going to sit around and wait for them to come over here. Instead, I'm going to be a bit more proactive. Try and dodge them, which isn't working particularly well, as you can see. Christ, I mean, another screamer like that and I'll be done with the town, honestly. I'll clean everything out and then... Well, let's just say it won't be the most entertaining survival ever. Keep thinking back to that once upon a time when I cared about leaving the roads clear so I can move vehicles to and fro, right? Ah, those were the days. That mattered. Now, vehicles can't go anywhere anyway, so... But who knows, maybe one day I'll find enough spare parts to fix one of the bikes. Maybe. Maybe that bike. Seems to me like most of these vehicles need a battery and fuel. The rest of the parts seem relatively fine. Which isn't really how cars work. Mind you, I'm no expert, but... just going off what I was told by people far more knowledgeable on the topic than me. This one's completely empty, isn't it? Although, mind you, this house didn't have a bed either, so it's quite possible that this wasn't really a house. Alright, it's a house definitely, but possible that it wasn't really a home at any point. Okay, this is a problem, and I'll tell you why this is a problem. There's a feral outside, and I don't really want him to get in. Hello! There. There's the feral. Okay. Christ, I don't see him anymore. This is a horror movie is what this is. There you are. Zdarov. And there should be one more over on... Stabby, stabby, there we go. Yeah, so this place was barricaded. Part of it, at least. There was an attempt made to barricade this place in. Fair attempt at that. Unfortunately, didn't seem to work out, but, you know. We appreciate the attempt and all that. Now, oh, hello there. What are you? A military machete. That's better than my Kakuri, isn't it? Or is it roughly the same? It's roughly the same. Still, though. That is pretty awesome. And then, you know, these things. And then we have 2 boxes of 9mm ammo, a box of 308 Winchester, a VSS Ventores, equipped with integral suppressor. VSS mag, does it still use 9x19? Probably, right? Supposed to use 9x39, but yeah. It's a pistol variant of the VSS, which I don't think technically exists, but never mind. The SIG's in alright condition. The Bison, also a fairly rare and unique weapon, although very iconic from video games and stuff. An M14 in mint condition, and an FN FAL in not so mint condition. What can you do? Garden fork, hunting knife. And this is what we call too much of a good thing. There's a soft drink in here. I mean, I suppose that'll do for now. It won't. It's not really food, but beggars can't be choosers, right? Also, yes, I did see the pancake mix. How exactly am I going to cook those pancakes? Here's my question. You know, if you're telling me to pick them up, how exactly am I going to cook it with all the electricity gone? What, start a fire? You know, it's not a terrible idea. Just point me to the nearest stove. Sorry, point me to the nearest wood fire stove. Yeah, pretty much exactly right. So, with that note not really being an option, think we just move on. The real issue I'm having, well, it's not really an issue, but the real concern I'm having is that it's been 30 minutes and I've managed to clear out, what, 4 buildings in town? Not great. Certainly progress. I don't think nobody can deny that. Certainly progress is being made. Right? Do you want to go across? I really don't want to stick my arse in the woods as the problem. Like, I really, really, really don't want to do that. Let's go down the road. Even though there's another horde down the road, there's also more buildings. Bigger buildings, too. I mean, I realised full well... Oh, sorry, I'm gonna yawn. Yeah, sorry about that. I was gonna yawn, but didn't know how intelligible that was. Okay, any ferals in that big group? Doesn't look like it. Where was I? Yeah, I was gonna say, at one point I'm just gonna have to draw a line in the sand, honestly, and just go, you know what? It's been fun trying to find a house and all that. Now we just pick this random structure that used to be something and start building a fence around it. Because ultimately, I don't really need much. In the early days of the infection, when you still have electricity and or ways of producing electricity via generators, that's fun, but now, not so much. Excuse me for just a second. Okay, very sorry about that. I had a call once again. Actually, I'll share the news with you as well, because I've had calls last time too, and, well, I had some good news, or I got some good news. The requirements for my promotion have, I don't want to say they've been reduced. I think they're the same as ever, but now we know what the specific requirements for promotions are for my position, and they're a lot lower than we were told they would be, or they're a lot less, if that makes sense. There's fewer things you need to do, and yeah, overall it's like a lot easier, which is pretty nice, obviously. I think next year is going to be a bit hectic, to try and get everything done, but yeah, like I said, should be pretty gosh darn simple and straightforward, which, you know, is neat, especially as in this current research position, you don't get to renew your contract with the government. You either get promoted or you get sacked. It's just how it works. So, yeah. Pretty stoked about that. Getting back into the game and back into character, though. It's a good thing that... I say that, and then there's 2 ferals that come up. Fudge. Okay, maybe I can... Oh, there's one. And there's the other. Lovely. Okay. Mentioned it before. Fighting ferals, not a big problem. Fighting multiple ferals at the same time, big problem. Don't do that, by the way. Don't ever let them get that close. Regular zombies, you're completely fine. Like, forget about it, right? It's absolutely no big issue. You can even let them lunge at you, grab you, stuff like that. It's no problem. You will survive. Big problem is wrestlers, because they don't actually need to grab a hold of you properly. They just need to do the attack animation relatively close to you, and there's a chance they can hook you and just hold you in place, or, you know, knock you to the ground. And that's also happened before, but yeah. Just don't let them do that. Oh, lock's broken on this thing. Interesting. Okay. Random car out of nowhere. Cars parked next to trees like this act very, very weird. And I mean, heck, even the undead are surprised by them most of the time. Or confused by them. Makes for some funny situations, but yeah. There's a Glock 21 here. It's pretty much exactly the same like I've got. Oh, here we go. That's interesting. That's very interesting, and so is the bike. Well, the only question is... Oh yeah, I'm tired. I'm not going to be able to go and explore that immediately. I need to sit down and rest for a little bit. Hopefully I can do it in the comfort of one of these vehicles. Or not. I guess not. Yeah, I don't want to fight anything else for the time being. I guess we check the bike. I do genuinely want to check it, like, mechanically speaking, because I found a lot of them like this. Is it still the same? Yeah, the battery's okay in a lot of them. It's just empty. Although, one good thing about bikes is they don't have a lot of moving parts. Yeah, I mean, in the game at least. Real life, considerably more complicated, but here it's been kind of simplified to where they don't have a lot of moving parts and they're considerably easier to repair and maintain. And so... get rid of this broken glass. I can probably rest here for a little bit. I mean, I'm already rested. I'm just gonna check. Yeah, I've checked this already, haven't I? Yeah, I did. There you go. Sit down. Okay. These boxes empty? Yeah, they are. So, I'm just gonna lie down, rest for a minute, and I'm also gonna mark... Oh, I already marked this off as looted. Okay, lovely. So, I'm gonna catch my breath for a second, and next up, we're gonna go... Where's the circle? We're gonna go over here. And then probably going to check out these two buildings too. And probably check out these two buildings also. That's, I reckon, pretty much all that we have we'll have time to do next time. Hopefully, we're going to be able to move in soon into one of them. If not, like I said, the bar down there is not a bad option at all, but I'm hoping that maybe one of these houses or one of these buildings is a little bit of a better option, especially if I can find a well somewhere. That'd be lovely. But what I am absolutely positive and sure of is that it's going to be this sort of area that we move in. So somewhere in here, I'm just going to look for the ideal building, or at least the best one out of all of these. And yeah, I mean, look at that. We've made it almost halfway across the map on foot. That is insane. Like, that is not impressive. That is just insane. Yeah, and it all started with this place being overrun. Well, not really, right? It started off with a lot of other things, and not least of which is me dying, but you get the point. Alright, I'll see you all next time. Until then, have fun, take care, and bye-bye.